Good evening, I'm Mark Seal with your sports roundup. Barbadian Matthew Wright recorded a top 10 finish in the men's elite race of the 3rd ITU Pan American Sprint Triathlon on Spring Garden this morning. Canadian Alexander Hinton was the overall winner. Matthew Wright was the lone Barbadian among just over 30 men under the starter's gun. And the first task was to hit the ocean for a 750-meter course off Brandon's. Now, last year's champion Jason Wilson watched on after deciding to sit out this one due to injury. At the end of the return leg to shore, American Tommy Zaffers was the first out of the water, heading for the second task, a 20-kilometer bike ride on the Spring Garden course. Luis Miguel Velasquez from Venezuela eventually caught up with Zaffers, while the rest of the pack, including Wright, followed a little ways behind. Let's fast forward with 2 more laps to go, where Wright had broken away and was now the overall leader. What a bike ride he had. Coming down now for the third and final task, a 5-kilometer run. Zaffers had taken back the lead, but local boy Wright was not out of it at that stage. Somewhere though through the first lap, Wright had fallen back along as Zaffers, but Wright was way back behind a pack which was now being led by Canadian Alexander Hinton. This was the group from which the top 5 would emerge, and as our cameraman Wayne Ward made his way to the finish line, Hinton maintained the lead and was first to cross in 56 minutes 44 seconds.
My legs felt really good the whole way. It never felt hard, but my head, I had a headache the whole run, so I kind of was having to keep it under control until the end.
Zaffers finished second in 56.58, and Puerto Rican Moel Huerta third in 57.10. Wright was 9th overall.
I'm still catching up to where I was in 2011, but I'm there and thereabouts. It's just the full fitness, it's all well and good doing a 5,000 in 15 minutes, but when you're doing a swim and a ride before, it's the whole aerobic fitness that I'm lacking.
The records tumbled on day 2 of National Senior Games track and field action. CBC's Marcia Boyce reports.
Women 75 to 79 and 80 to 84 50 meters. Kathy Harper Hall was the record holder for the 75 to 79s, but she had a challenge from Monica Tang Wing of Trinidad and Tobago. Tang Wing set in a new record of 9.05 seconds. Brenda Farley in lane 8 was first in the 80 to 84 category. Up next, the women's 70 to 74 age group. The favourite June Benjamin pulling away to win in 9.34 seconds ahead of Marva Mosley and June Oblington of TNT. The men in the 75 to 79 and 80 to 84 age groups ran together. Coming out on top, Barney Brathwaite blazing to a new record of 7.65 seconds for the 80 to 84s. Victor Young second here, but winning in the 75 to 79 category. Now the men's 70 to 74 competitors, and guess what? Another new record. Mark Norville winning in 7.32 seconds ahead of David Levine and Godfrey Johnson. The 4th record of the 50 meters came in the women's 65 to 69 race. Shirley Harper erasing her old mark, stopping the clock at 8.05 seconds ahead of Gloria Crickendale and Venice Brathwaite. The 60 to 64 women's 50 meter was ran as a timed final, and the overall winner would come from the 2nd race, Pearl Yearwood slamming the field ahead of Angela Holder. The men's 60 to 64 and 65 to 69 also combined for the final race. It would be a close fight between George Straker in the pink tights in lane 4 and Ridley Holder in lane 8. Straker would take it for the 60 to 64s, with Holder topping the 65 to 69s. And it wasn't all serious stuff, as the spectators also joined in the fun at the National Stadium. Marcia Boyce, CBC Sports.
In basketball, Barbados Lumber Company LSC remain at the top of the BABA Premier League standings after securing their 12th victory. Lakers are on 25 points. Meanwhile, Station Hill Cavaliers moved into second on 24 points after beating Warren Sports Club. CBC's Damien
Warren Sports Club in black up against Station Hill Cavaliers. Warren's on the fast break. Greg Springer ahead of the pack lays it in for 2 of his team high 17 points. But the Cavs took command of this contest from early. Corbin with 3 from beyond the arc. Cavs led 29 to 10 at the end of the first and continue to pile it on. Jason Smith says, let me have some deep. 3 more. And just so you don't think that was a fluke, Smith says, don't leave me unguarded or you'll suffer. That's a triple. The Cavs closing out the first half with a 20-point advantage, 51 to 31. Kelvin Patterson had a master game, 23 points in the bag. Late in the third now, going the other way. Cavaliers hustle on the rebound with time expiring, and Kevon Seeley to beat the buzzer. That's how they do it in the pros. 3, Seeley's contribution 16. Cavs up 69-50. In the fourth, Warrens way behind the 8 ball now. That's Lance Posey collecting 2 of his 12 points. But it was all Cavs down the stretch. Everything going their way. Patterson, mid-range jumper, good for 2 more. Cavs going on to blow this one wide open. 99-62 winners over Warrens. In the night's second match, Cougars in white and blue up against Barbados Lumber Company LSC. Godfrey Leacock with 20/20 vision from the promised land, 3 of his 16 points. And Cougars led in the first 2 quarters, 22-19 in the first and 40-36 in the second. Leacock taking them to school, nothing but net. Then the steal from Ricardo Gement. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Lift off and the flush. 2 more to the total. But Lakers never panicked, led by Keith Burkett with 20 and contributions from Orman Haynes with 10 and Ian Alexander 16. The Lakers rallying to pull off a 72-61 victory over Cougars.